you smell
What the rock is cooking? That's when you drop the people's elbow on them. Hit them with that rock bottom and it's game over. It's game over. Welcome back. Season 4, Episode 2, Bmr Podcast. Hopefully I didn't get too loud. I know I got a little loud, but I get excited when it comes to The Rock. My favorite wrestler of all time, when I was a kid, one of my role models was Dwayne The Rock Johnson, man. He's my boy. Still to this day, I watch all his movies, man. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching this. This is a Thanksgiving special. I got two, and I said two guests on this episode. Two professional MMA fighters. One being Roy Sanders from Coburn, Virginia. Both of them are regulars, too, on the show. Roy's been on the show a few times. And I also have Chandler, the Hammer, Co. on the show as well. So we got two regulars. I consider them regulars because they've been on the podcast a few times. And I plan on having them on the podcast and multiple times. We're going to keep having them on the podcast because I enjoy having them on. Man, we're going to jump into it here in a minute and have some fun, get into some conversations and bring up some fun topics. I'm going to tease them, give them a hard time and stuff, you know. But like I said, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. If I got a list when I talk, it's because of this right here. And I ain't promoting it. Tobacco is bad for you. It's the cool thing to do in middle school and high school, but when you get out, it's just a bad habit. You know what I mean? It's a nasty habit. Now my gums are killing me. They're so sore and shit. They bleed and shit. Even if you take care of your mouth with Listerine and you brush your teeth with all that bullshit, it still gives you problems. So kids, don't dip. I know it's cool in middle school and high school, but when you become a wiser adult, then you're like, man, now I'm just stuck with an addiction. But I'm going to quit though. One day I am going to quit. Hopefully it won't be too late. But yeah, like I said, Roy and Chandler are going to be on this episode. I'm interested in seeing how this is going. It's going to be the first time me and Chandler's talked since I predicted Dyer to beat him, and I know he kind of got a little bit upset about it, but we're friendly, I think, unless he hits me with a blindside and he comes on mad at me or something. I don't believe that'll be the case. You know, Roy is my boy. I ain't worried about nothing bad happening to Roy. We're going to have some fun, though, man. We're going to cover a range of topics, different things. This ain't going to be like an interview. Everybody thinks when I do these podcasts that it's an interview. That ain't, sometimes it is. Sometimes I'll ask fighters questions about stuff and things I'm curious about. And sometimes I do make it the interview, like, format. When I keep looking up here, guys, I'm looking at the screen at myself. I know it's a bad habit because I can see myself right here. But, it's not going to be an interview format. If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience on YouTube, they just talk and have a good time and cut up and go on different, give their opinions on different topics. And that's the plan for this episode. I wrote down a couple questions I want to ask that I don't want to forget. But for the most part, this is not an interview. And for future references, guys, if I ask you to be on the show, it's not necessarily going to be an interview. I just want to chill, talk, and let people get to know. I want people to get to know a personal side of you when I have you on this podcast. This is an opportunity for you to show your personal side instead of like a promotional side all the time. And yeah, you can promote on here and talk about that stuff as well, but also let's give them a little personality. You know what I mean? Let people get to know you a little bit better. But yeah, man, let's jump into it, man. Like I said, Roy Sanders and Chandler Cole, man. You know what time it is. BMR. All right. I got Roy Sanders on here, and I got Chandler, the Hammer, Cole on here. Say what's up, guys.
What's up, world? What's up, guys? I like how Chandler's the Hammer, he forgets the Real Steel. Let it go. My bad, man. Yeah, Real Steel. Speaking of that, Roy, how'd you get Real Steel as a nickname, bro? My little boy loves that movie, and I kind of like it too. The Real Steel robot fight movie thing, and it went with my initials, Roy Sanders, Real Steel. So we just ran with it. But plus, like I'm like the robot, when I get the shit beat out of him, then I used to win. And now I just, I'm kind of like that old-timey robot that fights, but, I'm still doing it. Win or lose, I'm still doing it. still here.
You still win, man. You just got a win here recently, didn't you?
Yeah. I think I got a fight coming up. We'll talk about that later, I guess.
And Chandler Cole. Chandler, how you been doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Just, I'm on that coaching life right now, so I'm taking a little break. Still training MMA, but not really focusing on the fighting aspect of it. Just the training, trying to get back down in weight, focusing on my wrestling. So right now, I'm just trying to coach some kids into little monsters. So that's what my life is based upon right now.
Well, first and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Roy, with your family. See, every time Roy posts a picture with all of his family and the kids and they're playing T-ball together and video games or whatever, I get jealous, Roy. I get jealous, man. I think to myself, I wish Roy was my dad. I wish I had a dad like Roy. Cause my dad wasn't in my life, Roy.
Well, I live close to Roy, so sometimes I make him my father. I go over there and make him feed me ice cream.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to play catch sometimes, man.
Yeah, you did say we threw the football around today.
You're an awesome dad, dude. I know. But, and another thing, Chandler, I'm sorry about your loss, bro. You was telling me earlier about that loss. Hate to hear that, man. I know how it is losing close, family members like that. So sorry about that as well, bro. And hope everybody's, handling it well.
Yeah, I am. It's just part of life, but you just gotta learn from those situations like that, and one day at a time, right?
One day at a time, man. Yep. Time is the best healer and stuff like that. Like I said, when I lost my mom, I've lost my uncles. I've lost 2 uncles that committed suicide. My grandma to cancer. Another mama to a heart disease at a young age. So I know that feeling all too well, man. It's rough. And like I was saying, Roy, when you post pictures with all your family, it's kind of like, it reminds me of my family back in the day before everybody died. When I was a kid, we'd have big family get-togethers, enjoy some turkey on Thanksgiving and ham and all that stuff, and Christmas was great. Nowadays, it's just me and my papa. Like, tomorrow, me and my papa ain't even doing the Thanksgiving. We're just going to Mama's house in Kingsport, not a sponsor, and eating. So, it's good to see there's family still out there like that. You know what I'm saying, Roy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm blessed and lucky to have the family I've got, but I think, like you were saying, you guys are really Kingsport Farm. I mean, family's what you make it. And I mean, that's why you want to keep a good network of friends and good people around you, because then you've always got somebody, no matter what happens. So that's always good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I got the right idea. See, instead of a wife, I got a girlfriend. So I just go over to all her Thanksgivings. I try to rack up as many meals as I can for free. So I got the right idea.
There you go. That's how you do it. Yeah, man. So Chandler, I know you got a little upset with me with my Dustin Dyer pick, man, and I heard you on the Valor Hour talking about it. But anyways, man, you did a good job. You did prove me wrong. And one thing I wanted to ask you about that I was wondering, what did you do different to prepare for that fight and to come out and dominate like you did? What was the difference between the preparation for that fight and the preparation for the Boone Gordon fight?
Honestly, I wouldn't even say my preparation for Boone Gordon. No disrespect to him, but I just don't. I still don't think he's a better fighter. He did beat me, but you gotta play into all the factors. I took the fight agreement to know that anyone who watched the fight knows that was not me. That's not me. And I agree with I should not be a heavyweight, but right now I'm having fun here.
Right.
I had a couple people on my bucket list. Nothing now wasn't what I guess, but he got added to it real quick after I heard his name, heard about the reputation he had. So I was like, absolutely want to fight him. This guy, is supposed to be the truth, and people think really highly of him now. So I was like, the past versus the present is just kind of like a dream fight that people thought of in their head, but never thought it was going to happen. So, but honestly, I lost to him. It was just I didn't have enough comfort to help. I went in there thinking, honestly, I probably could have done more work for you. So I thought over him. You could ask Lloyd. I talked to him before my fight, and I said, Gordon sucks. There's no way he can touch me. I mean, me and my family said, I watched film on him, and I was like, this is so easy. This is such a great opportunity to get he looks good, but he isn't good. So, yeah, I just went in with the wrong mindset, and that's my fault, honestly. The way I look at it is he trained for me, and I trained for him. And when it came down to fight, his gas tank was a lot better than mine. His preparation was a lot better than mine. And he came in with a game plan. And at the end of the day, that night he was the better fighter. After I run through Ben Rowland and beat his old head in, we'll go down a rematch with Ben Gordon. So, just one more time, run it back. The way I look at it is, right now I'm thinking, Chandler, you beat yourself, and that's really not fair to Boom. So I would like for him just to prove that to me that he's the best fighter, not just that night. So, but one step at a time, I'm gonna fight Ben Rowland and bust his head. But honestly, the difference between the Dustin Bauer fight and the Boone Gordon fight that was so much different is I wasn't out there to please anybody, if that makes sense. My whole career has been based off of the energy off of my fans and getting real hot on social media. No, it wasn't anything like that. I was out there just fight for myself. It was the first time I've ever done that. And I came out and I had tons of confidence, standing up. I had game planned, and just everywhere we went, I kind of just took control of the fight, and that's really what the difference was. Not just between the Boone Gordon and the Dustin Bauer fight, but between all my fights and the Dustin Bauer fight. And I think that's really good for my career. I came out and I just had to stand up and who knows, I grew as a fighter, so it was a really good experience.
Now, will you hit on something that I can relate to? You said that Boone Gordon wasn't the better fighter, but, certain circumstances led to him winning that night. The way you feel about the Boone Gordon loss is the way I feel about the Sam Burns loss. And Roy, maybe you got a fight like that in the past where you've lost and you just feel like you're the better fighter and you would love a second chance at it. But for me, it was the Sam Burns. That's the reason why I always holler for the rematch. He will never give me the rematch. What do you think, Roy? You have any of those fights that you lost and you felt like you was the better fighter still?
Yeah, more so as an amateur than a pro. I know on two occasions I rematched people that I had beat on really short notice just because the first time I beat them I thought that I was way better than them. And I thought, no harm, I might not be exactly prepared for them, but I'm going to take the fight, and both of them beat me. One of them in devastating fashion, that's why I got my teeth bumped out. But as a pro, the competition for me at pro has been really difficult because I'm always an out-of-town guy in most situations. And I think that there's been 2 times that Chandler was at one of these. I fought a guy named P.J. Palmer up in Morgantown, West Virginia. Had a really big show up there, and the first round he just laid on me, did a lot of ground and pound, didn't really do a lot of work. I just felt like I was better than him, especially on the feet. I just held back and didn't let go, and really, that should have been my first win on, turf away from home, on a big show and a big payday, and I kind of blew that up there in Morgantown.
Yeah, we all have them fights.
Then he came out and shoot charge you, didn't you, Roy? In the second?
Yeah, we come out to touch gloves, and, normally I don't touch gloves. That's the experience in me, I just know better. So it happened. This guy come out to touch gloves, and he swung on me, and then I ducked, and I threw back at him hard. And I swear, it's like, this is going to sound stupid. Like, when it seems like, I would have did it, but if I'd hit him with the punches I threw back, it would have been done. Like, it kind of made me fight different that first round too. Like I kind of flipped modes and just went stupid. It was just like Mr. Tough Guy. Like I wasn't even trying to win the fight at that point. I was just trying to show him that you punk. Why'd you do that? Yeah, you can beat on me for 5 minutes, so I'm going to beat you here in a minute, kind of thing.
Right. Now let me explain something to y'all right quick while I have y'all on here. The format, the way I do the show now, I had to break it down to 15 segments. So if something pops up and I have to stop the clip right quick, there'll be a small pause and we'll restart. It's coming up soon. We still got a couple minutes, I do believe, to keep going until I have to do the little small pause. But just letting you know, it's, you know, that way you ain't surprised. But another thing I want to ask both of y'all is I want predictions on the Dustin Long and Ben Rowland Muay Thai bout. Who do y'all think's going to win, and how do you think they're going to win in December?
Well,
It don't matter who.
Dustin Long is a really good friend of mine outside of the cage, and we kind of got closer here over the last year or two. We go way back, so it's hard for me. It's so hard to predict on fights like that. I used to do it all the time with MMA Insider, but I'm kind of out of practice with it. So you can tell the way I'm talking around it right now, I don't want to answer it because really, this is one of those situations where Dustin Long, head and shoulders, is a better fighter. He's better at stand-up. If it were an MMA fight, he's better at grappling. He's just better rounded. But I worry that Dustin's going to come out and kind of be lax and be Dustin, like how he is in everyday life.
Right.
And Ben's just going to come out there like a firecracker and go after him. And I seen Dustin box Damian Miller, who's a good friend of mine too. And it went to a split, a draw. It was a draw. And it was really just because Dustin just was kind of lax and laid back and like he was just going through the motions. I mean, he was a better fighter, but Damian was busy and had cardio to go all three. And I just think that Ben's going to come out super aggressive early. And I'm going to say Dustin Long hits him with some kind of slip right hand and puts him out. Shot. And Dustin Long wins. First round KO.
First round KO for Dustin Long. All right, before we have before we have Chandler to answer this question, let me take a small break and we'll have Chandler's opinion in just a moment. All right, we're back. Now we're going to get Chandler Cole's prediction on who he thinks going to win between Dustin Long and Ben Rowland. This should be interesting. Go ahead, Chandler. Let me know what you think.
It's Dustin versus the old man, Neanderthal, Ben Rowland. Honestly, I think it benefits Dustin to go longer into the fight. I think the longer it goes, the worse it gets for Ben. He has his hands, so of course he has a puncher's chance. But when it comes to pure technique, Dustin definitely has the technique over Ben. I think that the longer it goes, the more worn out that Ben gets. He's a 40-year-old bodybuilder, so he's not going to have the gas to go those rounds. How much is a pro? How much is pro Muay Thai round? Like 5 minutes?
I don't know. Roy, do you know? I don't know how pro Muay Thai bouts work.
I don't think it's 5 minutes. I think it's just 3. I think it'll be a 3-minute round.
So 3-minute rounds?
It might even be 2. I mean, I feel really rookie-ish right now that I don't know this.
I don't know either. It could be more than 3 rounds.
It's 2 or 3.
I think it's like 4.
I'm sure walking to the picture is where he's been out. So I think Dustin is going to come out and get a technique to him, and then Dustin's going to tear his tire out. I think whenever he sees Ben fading, I think that's when Dustin will pick it up, and he will slay the Neanderthal.
So he's got Dustin slaying the Neanderthal. My opinion on it is I think Dustin's going to win. I think Dustin's got something to, Dustin's not really much of a talker, but I know deep down Dustin's probably sour about how that last fight went with him in MMA, where Ben got the win because Dustin threw his shoulder out. And they gave Rowland the win, which is, I think they need to run it back in MMA regardless. I'd like to see it in MMA regardless, but I think Dustin's going to win. I think Dustin he'll be like a counter striker. He'll let Ben get aggressive, come out, and definitely in the first round or two, he'll let Ben throw wild and hard punches. And then once Ben starts to slow down, I think you may see Dustin, get more aggressive himself. And I think you're going to see elbows and knees from Dustin. If Ben Muay Thai, I think you're going to see some elbows from Dustin and that. And I got Dustin winning a decision against been rolling. So that's how I see it playing out. Now, speaking on pro debuts and stuff, y'all know I'm making mine the 16th. What was y'all's pro MMA debuts like? What's the difference in fighting as an amateur and fighting as a pro for y'all? What's the experience like altogether?
I'll go first just a point. For me, what really was different is I was like, okay, my record's starting over. Okay, but I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I'm still no amateur. What if I start my pro career over one? So, your record does start over. You're like, okay, time for a new start. But, like, in my situation, I was like, oh, crap. What if I start off? And a little bit. So, for me, it was real nerve-wracking because I was like, I can't start off my pro career like this. Like, that would be horrible. Just a lot of thoughts running through my mind. But on the plus side, you're about to get paid to fight. So, you're super happy about that. So, you have those thoughts like, dang, it's pro. But, when you lose or draw, you get paid. So, it's good. It's a win-win situation.
What about you, Roy?
I've got a real different experience with it than Chandler because, his amateur record was outstanding. What were you, like 10-0, 11-0, something like that? Well, my amateur, 12-0, sorry. My amateur record was 10-15. So I had been through a long, grueling battle and uphill climb to get to that moment to turn pro. When Gene Click had mentioned me turning pro and we talked about it, and it just made sense because with the number of fights I had, I was fighting such great talent. It was either that or I fought somebody who wasn't that great and I would win. No doubt. So it just got to the point where it made sense. It was super exciting. I couldn't have dreamed it up better to fight Josh Cate first. I had just fought Josh Hansen for 155 title and lost in a close decision to him. So there was already some beef. And I fought Jim Fry, who was a monster to train with Cate. So, it just led up perfect for me to fight his coach, who, at the time I was telling him, I was like, Jim Fry and Josh Hansen are both better than Josh Cate. So, of course, that killed Cate, and it just amped it up. And all the pressure was on him. I mean, I had a big name here, I guess, for this local scene here. But everybody knew Josh Cate. People here knew Josh Cate, and there he did judo with Carlo Parisi and all this crazy stuff. So, it was a winnable fight for me, I felt, at the time when I was training. I trained really hard for that fight. It was exciting to go back to 0-0. But, that's back when I was a dreamer. I was training. I wasn't teaching. The kids weren't as grown up. I wasn't involved. I had time to train, and I just really looked at it as a great opportunity to start over, get back into it, get excited, and really show people in this area that, not only have I been doing this for about 8 years, but I'm actually pretty good at it now. So it was exciting.
See, that's the biggest thing that I'm taking from the experience and going through this process is the start over. Y'all keep mentioning it's a new start. My amateur career, well, after losing to Jay Page recently, is now negative. It was even 50. I got 6 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw, which that draw should have been a win, in my opinion. Everybody who's seen that fight knows that, but that's another story. But anyways, I got 6 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. And here's the thing for me, and this is something that I took pride in as an amateur. I made sure to fight the hardest fights as an amateur. So when I did turn professional, it wouldn't be like a big shocker. You know what I mean? I'm not going to see nothing. I feel like on the local scale at the pro level that I haven't seen as an amateur, because I fought Kim Odie, who just fought Bellator here recently. I fought Sam Burns, Dustin Dyer. I fought some real talented guys, Jay Page. I fought the best of the best, I feel like, as an amateur. So it's not going to be too surprising, I think, on a skill level. But the thing, and another experience that I got that, I know Chandler's got that experience. I'm not sure if Roy did. I believe you have, Roy, maybe. I fought in a championship fight as an amateur, which is 5 3-minute rounds. Now, it equals out to be 15 minutes worth of fighting, but you get more breaks. So it ain't 3 5-minute rounds, which, you're going longer than getting only 3 breaks. So I kind of know what it's like in a sense, the fight 15 minutes, you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be the biggest adjustment for me, is it not being 3-minute rounds. It's going to be 5-minute rounds. I'm going to have to, my pace, I can't come out like a a raging bull, you know, the pro pace has got to be different than the amateur pace, you know, I'm assuming, right? Because you can't, as an amateur, you only got 3-minute rounds, so you 3 minutes goes by pretty quick, it seems like. Or, well, in some cases, it seems like a long time if you're getting your ass whooped, but if you're winning and dominating, it goes by pretty quick. Now, as a pro, you don't want to burn yourself out in 3 minutes, you know, when you still have 2 minutes left in the round, you know. So that's the biggest thing, the adjustment I think I'm going to have to make is getting used to the 5-minute rounds. What, y'all got any advice on that? Like, is it a big adjustment getting used to them 5-minute rounds, or is it still kind of flow or something?
I don't think so. I remember when I first fought, my first fight, you know, I was thinking about that. I was thinking, man, 5 minutes is so much longer, but, you know, I've had a lot of fights as a pro, and some of those fights I have, you know, lost maybe 10-8, like I've been in trouble the whole round. And when you're in trouble the whole round, it does feel like 5 minutes. Like, you'll feel that 5 minutes. But if you're in there going back and forth, it's like a, you know, even fight, or you're not really getting beat too bad. There's some feed action, there's some ground action. It really, like, I can't even tell the difference. Like, I feel like it goes by the same as the 3 minutes did. It just depends on how the round's going, really.
Right.
I'm a little different. You know, I feel like 5 3-minute rounds is easier to pace yourself for 2 minutes, then wait, and then, you know, go 3 more minutes, then wait, then 3 more minutes, then wait. It's just the breaks you get. For example, I think that's what really killed me in the Gordon fight is if that had been 3, you know, I make it right because there's 34 seconds left in the first. That had been 3 minutes. I already had a break. I could have maybe came into my corner and game plan to come out and do something different, you know. And that's the thing in that 5-minute round. Yeah, it's just a longer time, you know, 2 extra minutes. It's just so much longer time. So I think it is a little different when you got 5 3, 3 5, just because the breaks, you know, the mental breaks. When you get 5 different, I guess 4 different times to sit down and game plan and come out and maybe change something up, I think it's a lot easier compared to you only get 2 breaks when you're when you're in a 3-round fight. So I think it's just it is a little more mentally challenging, but you know, it's what you make of it and how you train for it. Honestly, if you train for a good 5-minute round, I think you'll be all right. I do believe it's a little different there.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take one more small break, and then we're going to we'll do another little segment, and then we'll wrap it up or whatever after this. And it's going to get juicy in this next segment because I got a big topic I want to bring up for Chandler and Roy. I want your thoughts on it as well. So y'all stick around. I'll be right back.
Can we talk about USADA too?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to get into the juicy stuff here in just a second. We'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back again with the last run of the episode with Chandler and Roy. A topic that Chandler wanted to bring up. I'll let you go ahead and bring it up. Chandler, go ahead. Let's talk about it.
You want to bring up USADA first?
Yeah, go ahead with the USADA testing order.
This is a statement I'm making. I think USADA's a joke. You know, I just feel like a lot of the fighters, like for instance, for example, how is Anderson Silva getting popped for steroids? But then they say that it's a Viagra. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your stuff straight, you know? Like, if a man that is 40 years old, or how old is he, 35 to 40, something like that, if a man that age is taking Viagra, that is his choice. But if it pops up on your test as steroids, then you need to change your test. You need to do something about that yourself. USADA, I think, you know, and Viagra does have tests in it, but it doesn't have enough to really change your performance. A good example of someone who really got screwed was Chad Mendez. He was putting this muscle cream, right, on an injury or something like along those lines. I may have my facts wrong, but I know it was some type of lotion, like, you know, right? So he goes and puts it on his skin. Little does he know it has growth hormones in it to help rebuild muscle. So he gets popped. He's suspended for 2 years. You tell me how you can compare this lotion he's using to Viagra to, like, you know, a D-ball or type of test, win straw, and stuff like that. And you know, in my personal opinion, I know people on steroids. I'm not against steroids, that's for me. And like, you know, I know people who have injuries, you know, muscle injuries, bad injuries, and they don't, you know, and they're taking steroids to try to rebuild their muscle because, I don't know if you know this or not, but say you tear your quad when you take steroids, it's going to focus mainly on rebuilding that quad, making it stronger and stuff. So in that case, in that situation, I know people that work out for a living. That, you know, that's fine. But if you're fighting full time and you take steroids to enhance your fighting, you take steroids just to be a better fighter, I think you're a coward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's a real. I think it's pathetic.
Well, what you was talking about with the dick pill, like Viagra having steroids in it, it may be like a smaller amount, but still, it's still got steroids in it. You know what I mean? And that muscle cream.
It's not steroids. What's inside of Viagra is actually just a testosterone booster. It makes your hormones multiply stuff so that you can get an erection. That's what that does. You know, a steroid is completely different.
Right.
A steroid, you're talking about like just a steroid. Okay, like for example, I think a man, like Roy, how old are you, Roy? I'm 34. 34. Have you ever got your chest checked? No. No. I would say it's around 200, 300. Okay? When people are on steroids and they're working out every day and they're just wanting to be big giant Neanderthals, you know, they're just as like 1,300, 1,400, 1,500. Yeah. Like when it's that bad, you know, it's a little crazy. And the thing in Viagra is it has its things in it that's making them pop positive for steroids when they're not taking steroids. Like, it's crazy. And,
but yeah.
When we got on that post the other day, I forgot whose post it was. I don't know if it was yours or Jake's. And I was like, you saw this joke. And it's like, yeah, people should be able to eat cocaine before the thing. But that's not even it. These people are going to GNC, okay? And they're buying supplements.
And they're getting popped.
And they're getting popped for it.
But here's the thing, though. The testosterone booster enhances your performance. In my opinion, if you're older an athlete and you're mid-30s or whatever, 40, and you need testosterone to even get at normal levels as these young guys that are fighting, then you need to retire. Like, if you need to take Viagra to be sexually active, then you don't need to be fighting. That's my personal opinion. But that's just what I believe. And the hit on the supplements thing you're talking about, the GNC supplements, what they are finding out is a lot of them supplements, them pre-workout supplements, are tainted with steroids. That's the reason why people are failing tested. Because the testing that they get approved to sell it legally isn't the greatest. Like, it's slipping through the cracks. And that's the reason why people are failing drug tested due to supplements.
And I'm glad we're getting on this topic now, because I've always wanted to debate with those supplement deals. Right. You know, you go to any gym, okay? You go to any top gym, you know, like where Dan Henderson goes. I'm not going to use John Jones as an example because clearly his supplement taking skills are horrible. But you go to any type of, or you talk to any type of athlete, period. NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, UFC, all these people are taking supplements. When you're on that level, and you know, and when I say that level, you're talking about you eat, sleep, breathe your sport. Okay? And when you're on that level and you're constantly training, you can't just eat and take in those supplements and try to be that type of athlete. You have to take in something. Good example is BCAAs, okay? I go to GNC and I buy BCAAs, okay? I take them before my workout, and I take some during, and then I take some afterwards. I have had BCAAs in, I'd say, since my fight in October, since before my fight, so about a month. I've had them in about a month. When I was training, though, real hard, they always give me a little pep in my step because they're not pre-workout. They're not pre-workout. They don't have all that caffeine. But it's natural because anybody has amino acids. inside of me. So when I took those, yeah, I just felt like I was getting my body was taking in stuff that I was pushing out so much energy through training and stuff, and I wasn't eating enough to really put back all that stuff in me. So, not, for example, whey protein. Okay, what you can take in a protein shake is really all you need after a workout. All the protein you need is in that shake. There's no, I don't believe there's anything wrong with good supplements. When you're on that level and you train that much, it's hard not to take some type of supplement. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying steroids. Steroids is not the answer.
Right.
I believe. I'm not saying steroids. And steroids is completely different. Me going to GNC and buying something, taking a scoop of it, putting it in my water, shaking it up, and drinking it isn't the same as me taking a shot in my ass. I shouldn't have said that, but in my blood, and it coming out, my testosterone weighs up 1,000. It's just two completely different things. And I think USADA is catching a lot of cheaters, but I think they're also catching a lot of innocent people who are just trying to, keep their bodies rehabbed through, supplements and different things. And I think that their knowledge, and I read a comment that said, they get a list of everything that's illegal. They shouldn't take it. You know how many things is on that list? Oh my God, there's like 1,000.
Yeah.
I can't even read, a kid's story with pictures in it, and remember everything that happened, let alone 1,000 different supplements. So, and people have their different opinions, and their opinions is wrong, just like mine. And no opinion is wrong. That's why we all have theirs,
Right.
And that's great. No opinion is wrong. That's why we all have opinions, so we can see other people's eyes. My opinion is just, I think he saw it as a joke, and they're busting people for they took it to the extent to where they're like, hey, if a pencil had testosterone in it, you wouldn't be allowed to chew on it. Like, it's like that crazy. It's gotten to the point to where people are accidentally, don't shower with this because it might pop up this. I think they should test steroids, like your basic steroids, your testosterone booster. And I think they should test for, your basic street drugs, cocaine, meth, stuff like that. So, I mean,
Right.
all in all, the only fighter to really get busted for lately is John Jones. I can't really say I don't think he hasn't took something.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying on the recovery and stuff, but this is just my point of view. And like you said, everybody's got their opinion, and we see where you're standing with it. But my stance is, I don't take nothing. There was a point in time before I had my first MMA fight. 2 weeks, I took a Muscle Farm Stack, which was a pre-workout, a post-workout, and a sleep aid workout supplement I took. And I also even tried a testosterone booster at one point. I only did it one time, but I noticed in them 2 weeks of taking that pre-workout, post-workout, and that recovery workout stuff, I got to a point where I wasn't getting tired. My heart was beating down my chest. I'd be running and doing all this stuff. I wasn't getting tired. I'd have all this energy, and it scared me. And it scared me because I'm like, man, I'm almost like, I'm going to give myself a heart attack because I still want to go. I still want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and get after it, but I'm not feeling the effects of getting tired and fatigue, which to me is unnatural, because as human beings, when you run for miles and miles or do whatever it is you're doing, any type of workout, you're supposed to feel fatigue. And I think as a fighter, when you got two guys competing against each other, trying to knock each other out, choke each other out, the playing field should be as even as possible. Far as I don't think they should, any side should have an unnatural boost, whether it be creatine or pre-workout, post-workout. I think the only thing, as far as like you talked about the protein shakes, I think you should get your protein from chicken. I think you should get your protein from bananas. That's just my opinion, and that's where I stand, and that's the reason why I think, people getting busted for taking them supplements that's got testosterone boosters and that are tainted with stuff that, you're not supposed to be having in your system when you fight is a good thing. Because I'm like Nick Diaz, and the reason why Nick Diaz is my favorite fighter is because I believe in a lot of stuff he does. He don't take steroids. Nick Diaz doesn't take supplements, and Nate Diaz, they don't take supplements and stuff. The only things they take are like natural plant-based products. You know what I mean? Now that is understandable to me because it's more natural. But when you get this synthetic boost from these supplements, then that's where I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? That's just my stance on.
I thought I saw someone Nick Diaz takes BCAAs.
I don't know if he takes. I know for the majority part he's a vegan or whatever vegetarian. I know everything he does takes plant based. He may take. I don't know much about BCAAs. I mean, I've heard of it. I don't know. That's about it. I don't know, but I know like creatine is concentrated. It's not good for your synthetic. I know a lot of them pre-workouts are definitely not good for you. I've had my doctor to tell me when them 2 weeks when I was taking it, I was having a high blood pressure problem. And I've always been fat, but I've never had high blood pressure problem. And he said it was because of the workout supplements I was taking, so I dropped it.
You know what does that too, though? You know how much caffeine, say a scoop of Mr. High, for example, has one scoop. No, that's one scoop. People take 2 scoops. One scoop equals 400 grams of caffeine, right? Okay. So 400 grams of caffeine. You know how much a cup of coffee is?
How much is that?
80.
So it's a concentrated amount of caffeine, and it's wiring you up, and that's the reason why you're getting jittery and you got to work out.
Yeah. So 1 scoop equals 5 cups of coffee. Now, I know people who drink 5 cups of coffee, but usually you down a pre-workout. And I am totally against pre-workout. You know why? Because all that caffeine speeds your heart stuff. When you speed your heart, like pre-workout is for when lazy people want to get an adrenaline rush without warming up. That's what, and that's what a lot of lifters do. Right. You got the creatine, get you pumped, you really got to do a workout because your muscles are really feeling it. Now, you take that pre-workout and your heart's out of control because of the caffeine, and then you go for a run, and you speed your heart up even more than what the pre-workout is. You can die. You can literally die. Yeah. That's not a joke. And I think not only are they fighters should be able to take pre-workouts, because it's such a high caffeine, I think that is a cruising for a breeze. I think that is a way that someone can die. Like I said, so people usually take 2 scoops. That's 10 cups of coffee. Not only throughout the day, you're talking about within 20 seconds, you're taking in 10 cups of coffee worth of caffeine.
Yeah, it's way too much. Way too much caffeine. All right,
that's why, when you said you couldn't sleep, that's exactly why.
Well, we're going to take a small break, and I'm going to bring y'all back because we still didn't get into something I was wanting to get before we wrap up. Roy, you still there?
Yeah,
I'm still here. All right, hold on, Roy. I'll get you in just a second. One moment, guys. Hold on. All right, guys. Unfortunately, can't even talk. There was another segment of this podcast. It was the very last segment. I lost that segment due to technical difficulties with my computer. I wasn't able to recover it. I ended up losing it. My computer shut down on me. I'm just going to recap on how that went. Roy Sanders elaborated on the USDA, the drug testing, and gave his opinion on it. He says he was kind of on the fence between me and Chandler that, he understands both views, and he broke down in some situations, if you're not a fighter, it should be okay to use stuff like that. But if you're a fighter, you got to be careful and not be taking the real hardcore stuff. Also, I brung up Ben Rowland and Chandler Cole that's going to be fighting here soon. I asked Roy Sanders for his pick. Roy Sanders, I hate that I lost the clip because he broke it down good. Pretty much Roy Sanders picked Chandler Cole to win. I think a decision maybe. I think he picked Chandler to win by dominating the whole fight pretty much. And he also gave a prediction that he don't believe the fight. He thinks there's a possibility the fight won't happen due to the contract not being signed. And he's saying that Ben Rowland's been fighting, all kinds of places, different places, that if they don't get a contract done soon, that maybe they'll never get it signed and the fight will never happen. Roy made that prediction as well. when Chandler talked about the fight, I hate that I missed this. Man, I hate that I lost this part, bro. I will get Chandler Cole and Roy Sanders back on here to kind of make up for missing this, but Chandler he said he's going to knock that old man off his walker. He's going to dominate him. He's going to whip him and all this stuff that, he's going to teach him a lesson in the spring of 2018. And Chandler has some strong words for Ben Rowland. Man, I hate that I missed that, guys. That's my fault. It ain't actually my fault. It was my computer's fault, but it's my fault for not fixing things with my computer beforehand. I didn't know this was going to be an issue. I didn't start having issues until while we was doing the podcast. I was barely able to save what y'all did here. I was barely able to save that. But the very last clip, I was unfortunately unable to save it. I'm so distraught about it because it was perfect. Chandler went in on Ben, said he's going to whoop him. I gave my prediction. I think that Ben Rowland, or Chandler Cole, my bad, is going to beat Ben Rowland, in the second round due to TKO or referee stoppage. I think he'll get him down and he'll ground and pound him out. So, just giving you a recap on what you missed. It was an exciting part of the podcast. I hate that it fell through. Sorry to Roy Sanders and sorry to Chandler Cole. We'll run another episode back and do it again, guys, and get deep into shit again. It was a great episode. This is one of my favorites, and I hope the part that I did save is entertaining for y'all. The last part was great, and I hate that I lost it. That's my bad though, and my computer's bad. I want to beat my computer's ass right now, man, cause that was a perfect ending to the episode, bro. It was perfect. But anyways, big shout out to Roy. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching. Roy said happy Thanksgiving. Chandler said happy Thanksgiving, and remember his family as they lost a close family member and friend, and be with them, our thoughts and prayers be with them through tough times. I know personally mine's with y'all. I hope, I know how it is to lose somebody close to you. So, but anyways, guys, have a great Thanksgiving and appreciate y'all checking out the podcast, man. It's, season 4, episode 2. It was a great episode, and I hope what I salvaged was good enough, but man, I hate dropping the ball on that last segment because Chandler went in on Ben Rowland. He went in for the kill. Ben Rowland, Chandler coming for you, man. You better be ready. We out, man. Hey.